Hello there. In this video, we'll show you the latest improvement to the Insert Railway command, the new automatic planimetry option. This feature lets you define, right from the start, which planimetric quantities will be applied to each element. Everything is then automatically inserted into the cross-sections. Based on these quantities, you can easily generate a quantity takeoff report or create a 3D or BIM model of the railway. So after I run the Insert Railway command, a dialog box opens. Here, you can find a new button called Planimetry. When I click it, it opens the right part of the dialog, where I can define planimetric quantities for each element. For every language version, some general quantities are already predefined by default. However, if you'd like, you can create your own by clicking List of Materials. This opens a complete list of all available quantities, which you can edit or expand with your own custom ones. After setting up your planimetric quantities, either using the default values or by defining your own from the list of materials, there are a couple of important things to keep in mind. First, if you don't want planimetric quantities to be inserted into the drawing, simply uncheck the box in front of planimetry. In that case, only the polyline blocks will be inserted, just like in previous versions. Second, planimetry works only if the Explode block option is checked. If you don't select Explode block, the planimetry button is disabled and the planimetric quantities won't be created. This is because planimetry in Ferrovia always uses exploded polylines as boundaries, so the system automatically disables automatic planimetry when this option is turned off. It's important to keep this in mind to understand how the process works. I define all the parameters and click OK. The elements and their planimetric quantities are then automatically inserted into the cross-sections. Since we selected all cross-sections, you can see that the quantities have been added along the entire alignment. These quantities can also be edited later using the Edit function, which opens the same dialog box with all the settings you previously defined. This allows you to review or modify them at any time. So, if I want to edit any element or its planimetric quantities, I run the Edit command and click on any element, whether it's a polyline or a hatch. This opens the same dialog box with all the settings we previously defined. Here, I can change any value, and after I click OK, the drawing updates automatically. Keep in mind that the Edit function shows, at the top of the dialog, only the cross-section that you click to edit. If you want to apply changes to several cross-sections, you need to specify both the starting and ending cross-section at the top of the dialog. Then, once you make your changes and click OK, the drawing refreshes, and the modifications are also saved to the macro. Since we selected a new material for the rail and applied the change to all cross-sections, you can now see that this update is reflected consistently along the entire alignment. Now that we have the planimetric quantities inserted in the drawing, we can immediately generate the quantity takeoff. I simply run the command, specify where in the drawing the quantities should be placed, and the values will be inserted into each cross-section. You can also insert a summary table showing all quantities across the cross-sections. The planimetric quantities can also be used to generate a 3D model. If we want to create a 3D model, we go to the Utility tab and run the Draw 3D Model command. Here, we can choose which quantities should be generated as 3D models, and then click OK. And if we now switch to the plan view and adjust the visual style, you'll notice that a complete 3D model has been generated. All the elements that we defined as planimetric quantities in the cross-sections are now displayed as 3D objects. That's it for this update. With this new functionality, the planimetric quantities no longer need to be defined manually in the later steps, which saves a lot of time and makes the whole process much more efficient. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.